I tell people about your group, how you guys go to Atlanta and to different places. You get ideas and you come back, and you implement them. And that's what we all need to do.
But I do think that one important factor, however, is a kind of local rooting. I think that one problem not necessarily a problem, but something that's recurring in a lot of Black politics is that there's we're good on the state level, we're good on a national level, but on a local level, we tend to we falter somewhat. We don't participate in elections unless there's a presidential year coming up. There are things that need to be done locally that tend to fall on the wayside. And I think that one good thing about the kind of organizations we're talking about is that it's local organizing that scales up and starts from a foundational footing that's in their local community, and then it goes outward.
Well, it never leaves the local. Because what happens is that so much of our national efforts are derailed and they're misdirected, and that's intentional. The whole point, I was a part of when Michael Brown got killed out there in Ferguson, right? I was invited to come out and talk to his family and talk to the people, who are organizing that. And the organization that they started at a local level was called Hands Up, Don't Shoot. Remember?
Right.
Now that was brothers and sisters.
Yep.
Some who worked third shift.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Who got off work.
That's right.
Took their shirt off.
That's right.
And walked down the street with their hands
That's
up.
right.
Shirt tied around their head.
That's right.
That's it.
That's right.
Now that was local people.
Yep.
Right. Some of them registered to vote. Some of them weren't. Some of them did that. But they organized themselves and they got people fired and hired at the local level.
Right.
Now here's the thing. Black Lives Matter comes in.
That's right. That's
and
right.
derailed. You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
What was being done at the local level, and that is the LA Black Panthers versus the Lowndes County Black Panthers.
Ooh.
See, let Hollywood tell it. The Black Panthers was started in California.
That's right.
It was not.
That's right.
It was started right down the street in Lowndes County, Alabama, under the auspices of the Lowndes County Freedom Organization.
That's right.
Those people are still living, by the way.
That's right.
Yeah, one of them was killed. The sheriff. Yeah, he just got killed. But what happens is that the reason why the LA Panthers are who they are and the Lowndes County Panthers remain in obscurity, which is actually beneficial to us, is because the Lowndes County group represents local grassroots organizing that is successful in changing the local dynamic. You see? And that is what a lot of people, mostly, especially a lot of left-wing personalities, do not want to happen. They want everything. You read Hubert Harrison in Harlem, he was talking about that. And so they want everything national. They want everything direct. I call them Moscow. They want everything directed from Moscow. And they don't want any localized movement without them. So what they'll do is they'll find hotspots and send people there. And the whole point is to misdirect and redirect the attention away from what the local people are doing and try to capsulize it into a national type situation, and then that's what you have. So with the local organizer versus the national organizer. Okay. You also have.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. You also have the difference between A. Philip Randolph and Paul Robeson. Right. The difference between A. Philip Randolph and Paul Robeson, why A. Philip Randolph was so successful and Paul Robeson was not, was because Paul Robeson thought that going to the black middle class actually meant something. He put too much stock in Negro intellectual and elites who really had no pull on what went on the street.
Right.
And so what happened is A. Philip Randolph said, forget, those Negroes. We're going for street Negroes. We're going for brothers who working. We're going for brothers. And we're going to push a program at the street level, and it's going to stay street. You see what I'm saying? A. Philip Randolph kept it in the street, so the preachers couldn't get at it. The Negro educators couldn't get at it. The Negro elite couldn't get at it. And you said, because those people have a tendency to use that influence to actually prop up the white power structure. That's right. You see? So in Harold Cruz's book, The Crisis of the Negro Intellectual, he talks about the difference between those two men. And it was just a tactical mistake that Paul Robeson made. That's all it was. It was just a mistake. He was a good guy.
Yes,
he had all good intentions. Did a lot of stuff. One of the most tribal person, one of the most heck of an athlete. I mean, we can talk about him just athletics alone.
Yeah.
Forget the social, civil rights stuff. But A. Philip Randolph was able to do, and it was A. Philip Randolph's mentioning of integration that really Martin Luther King grabbed hold of.
That's right.
Because when you look at Martin Luther King, if you study him as a specimen, he's actually building on top of other people, right? And so we never give him credit for doing that, because that's really the mark of a good leader. The mark of a good leader is not to come out of the room with a speech. It is to take what has been before you and build on top of it. You see what I'm saying? So with him, the term integration, Fred Gray used it very sparingly. Martin Luther King used it very sparingly. But that's from A. Philip Randolph when he was talking about integrating the military, right? So we've got these terms we've got to deal with, these personalities, and these failures, right? Because we learn more from the failure of black leaders than we do from their success. We do. And you have to be, if you're a leader, you have to be forthcoming in what you have to that. That's right. So other people can benefit from it. And here again, we know that it's going to take people amalgamating different parts of our unique personalities together to build something that the common brother can put into place. You know what I'm saying? Because brothers get intimidated, man. I mean, they get intimidated, and you're gonna have to, if you're gonna take a message, that message is gonna have to be something that the common brother and sister can grab to, take their child to, this, that, and the other, and move forward. We can't get too over people's heads. You know what I'm saying? I think somebody knocking on the door.
You want to check the answer?
Yeah.
Dr. White, there's just so many things that we could discuss here today. I'm gonna keep you here as long as you. No, you're gonna stay here to the end. I ain't gonna tell out loud. We're gonna be joined.
I got some good people I gotta meet.
You got some good people?
Yeah,
okay.
they'll be all right.
All right. Like I was saying earlier, this thing has to be a collective thing. It takes all generations.
Yeah.
We have to, and I say have to, because there's no more choice in the matter. We have to work with one another.
Yeah.
We have to respect our elders. We have to respect our young people, because there's a gap, and it's being created by the narrative of white supremacist government.
Yeah.
Where we don't revel with our elders, and we don't bring up our youth, and they don't respect one another.
Right.
This is why I always expound on Antoine and myself, because we're from two different generations. We have the same goal in mind. We see it in different ways of getting there, but we still have the same goal in mind. That's uplifting our people. I want you to talk a little bit about, you mentioned Lowndes County. You've written several books. You collect data through the Black Belt.
Yeah, man.
And how important that history is, and not to be lost. So just give us a little bit on your book and how you use it to give it to the younger generation,
right?
So that legacy is not lost.
Right. And one of the things that we've done, and I say we because we're a cadre of people, we call ourselves the Highway 80 Research Group. And what we do is we've devoted our academic careers to researching the Black Belt and interviewing people, because I'm a pastor and I've been all through the Black Belt preaching and whatever. People trust you. So I've got a collection of stuff that the Smithsonian would die to have, but people trusted me with it. I got pictures, I got letters, I have things. I got a picture of Stokely Carmichael when he was a college student. But the person who gave me the picture is a little girl. He came to her birthday party. Now see, that's the thing. When you come to, you're already a giant. People looking at you like, you're some kind of prophet or something. You're just a college student coming to help people register to vote. But you show up at kids' birthday parties. That's right. You see what I'm saying? You actually, and that is the SNCC way. Yep. The original SNCC, right?
Exactly.
Before SCLC messed them up.
Exactly. And ooh, you talk about that.
Yeah. See, I told myself out there to get Antoine excited. I mean, but Elevate said it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But that's, so people give you those pictures. Letters that Martin Luther King had written to people. Those types of things. And they entrust you with it. So what are you going to do with it? Do you just sit on it and, put it up in your room somewhere and, you die and it gets thrown away or whatever? Exactly. No, you start publishing it, and you give people an opportunity to tell their own stories. Like, I had a lady to show up at my church last week. She said she's going to join, said she's coming back. She was the first Black registered nurse in the South. And she got all of this stuff now. And she's like, Dr. White, what do I do with it? I'm like, you give it to me. That's what you do. You give it to me. I went down to New Orleans to see one of my cousins' children graduate from Dillard, right? Okay, well, we're down there and, we do this Airbnb thing. And man, we're in so deep into the war, and it ain't funny. I'm driving around, I'm like, this can't be the place. It's some serious brothers. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Everybody was fine. Everybody was cordial. The guy next to us, Denmark Vesey's great.
Are you serious?
I'm not lying.
Are you serious?
I'm not lying.
Who's Denmark Vesey for our listeners?
Yeah, Denmark Vesey was a revolutionary,
That's right.
A slave revolter in South Carolina.
Yep.
His church was Emmanuel African Methodist Episcopal Church. That was the church that Dylan Roof shot up.
That's right.
Dylan Roof actually thought that they were planning another slave revolt, which means that Dylan Roof, in his madness, in his mania, had more of a historical perspective than we do in our sanity. He was a bad man, but he was.
He's doing what he's doing.
That's it for me.
Even in his madness, he knew more than we do in our sanity.
Right.